Hi, this is Dr. Philip Cordova. And a lot of my patients are telling me that they're going to start working from home over the next few weeks. It could be the next few months, we're not sure yet, in the wake of the coronavirus. And a lot of patients are not familiar with working from home, and they don't have the right setups, they don't have the right things to protect their neck and back during this time. Now, the last time a bunch of people had to work from home, it was during Hurricane Harvey. And there, in my mind, I was picturing that they're all still sitting at a desk. They've got the monitor at the right height. They've got everything perfectly set up. But what I found is that everyone was coming back after Harvey with, headaches, neck pain, upper back pain, all from working from home, which turns out that means sitting on your couch with the laptop on your lap or on the coffee table, or you're sitting in bed and you're trying to get all your work done. Now, it's not possible to have good posture with a laptop. You have to make sure that you are creating some kind of situation where you're using your laptop more like a monitor and not looking down the whole time with that screen. So you've got a few options. One is you could plug that laptop into a bigger monitor, and that way you're still using it, but just as your computer, and you've got a separate keyboard and you've got a separate mouse that will help keep that your head elevated with the right monitor. Now, for my kids, even, and while they're studying, I've got them this cheap little laptop stand that you can get. This is available on Amazon. It's about $35. It telescopes all the way up to where you could even use it as a standing desk if you have an external keyboard and mouse. You can't use this to type on, because that would mean that you're bringing your hands up really high in order to do that. But it's a very inexpensive way of doing that. So for $35 over the next few weeks, you can keep yourself from having a lot of issues and neck pain and back pain during this time. All of these things require that you have an external keyboard and mouse, which you can also pick up pretty inexpensively. That allows you to move that to different places. You're not going to be forced to use the laptop the way it's designed, which is looking down. It allows you to stand up and sit up straight. I still encourage you to take breaks. Walk around, do some stretches. I'll post links to some of these things that I'm talking about, including some great neck stretches and exercises that will help you during this time. I encourage you to take this time to also work on some healthy habits. That means that you can start using your foam roller, you can start using the neck wedge, you can start doing some neck exercises and doing some healthy things. It doesn't mean that you have to stay locked inside your house the entire time. You're just supposed to be avoiding large crowds. You're supposed to be avoiding, people contact or people in close proximity. But you can still use this time to get in the habit of working on your posture, and all that time that you wish that you had, suddenly now you can take a break. You can lay down on the neck wedge for 10 to 15 minutes and help yourself. But this all starts with having the right mechanics while you're sitting at your computer. You simply cannot do that with a laptop. So I encourage you strongly to get a stand, to do something where you're elevating that screen. You don't have to buy the screen off of, or the stand off of Amazon. You can certainly get a bunch of books, a bunch of textbooks, stack that laptop where it's up high, almost like you're trying to look over your neighbor's fence. That's how you know you've got that screen at that right height. But all of them do require that you have a separate keyboard, a separate mouse. That way you can use that to help yourself. I've also been checking out this stand-up desk conversion. I'm using this now at home. It was about $120 on Amazon, and I'll also post a link to that in the comments or in the description here. And that way you can see what I'm working with. I thought it was very helpful. It's one of those things where suddenly I took my regular desk and made it into a stand-up desk, and that was also very helpful to save money, but also give me the option of standing up and sitting down. Regardless, you can't just use a stand-up desk and stick that laptop on there and think that you're going to be okay. You're going to have to raise that screen up. So keep that in mind. The rule of thumb is make sure you feel like you're trying to look over your neighbor's fence. That's how you know your screen's up high enough. You want to have a separate keyboard and mouse, and you want to use this time to work on your posture. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, contact us on our website, message us on Facebook. We're happy to help with different tips and things. Save your neck and back while you're here working from home. Turn this time into a positive for your spine and not a negative for your spine. And I will talk to you soon.